pro-liberation forces to defeat communal evil forces in month of victory's parliament election. Obaidul Qadir's expectation. Foreign reserve increases 4.5 times during last 10 years. Economy become vibrant. The United States failed to pass condemnation proposal against Hamas in United Nations. And Bangladesh, West Indies and Ireland will play a tri-nation series on May next, marking World Cup cricket. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre. I am Shohid Hassan, welcoming you all.
And I am Anika Ambreen. Those were the highlights, now the details. As many as 307 retired senior government officials has expressed solidarity with the Awami League and pledged to work for the victory of pro-liberation forces in the upcoming national election. The retired officers expressed the solidarity with the AL when they called on Prime Minister and AL President Sheikh Hasina at Ganu Bhavan in Dhaka this evening. Of them, 142 are former principal secretaries, senior secretaries, secretaries, chairmen and members of different commissions, former ambassadors, additional secretaries and joint secretaries. Ex-9 ambassadors, former 4 additional IGPs and 7 ex-DIGs of police also expressed solidarity with the Awami League at the function. Besides 165 retired officers from health, education, engineering, forests, post, police, tax, information, telecom, customs and exercise, audit and accounts, railway, food and agriculture cadres expressed solidarity. At the outset of the function, they greeted the Prime Minister by presenting bouquets. "83 aspiring candidates have got Election Commission's nod to take part in the 11th Parliament election in the second day's appeal hearing. Election Commission have also rejected 60 appeals while 7 were withheld out of 150 appeals resolved today. Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda led the appeal hearing at Nirbachan Bhavan at Agargaon in the capital. Hearing of appeal numbers 161 to 310 were held at the second day. A total of 543 appeals were submitted in Election Commission against the returning officer's decision during the scheduled time. 310 appeals were disposed during first 2 days' hearing. Tomorrow is the last day of appeal hearing. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has expressed his hope that the Grand Alliance led by Awami League would get landslide victory in the general election in a month of victory, defeating the communal forces. He said this at a press briefing after handing over the final letters of candidature to the nominated candidates at Awami League President's political office at Dhanmandi in Dhaka today. Among the allies, Jatiya Party got 40 nominations, Bikolpodhara 3, Workers' Party 5, Jashod Inu got 3, Torikot Federation 2, Jashod Ambiya got 1 and JP Monju got 2 nominations. Obaidul Qadir further said if any party of the ally desires can contest with their own symbols. BNP has confirmed its candidates for 206 constituencies out of 300 parliamentary constituencies ahead of 11th National Election 2018. The party's Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir unveiled the list at a press briefing in the capital today.
Jashwat President and Information Minister Hassan al-Haq Inu has said the ongoing steps taken by the administration is not against for upcoming election. Rather, it is going on against the terrorism, militancy and killings in the past. He said this while exchanging views at his Bheramara residence with the freedom fighters of Bheramara and Mirpur Upazilas in Kustia today. Jashwat Central Committee Organizing Secretary Abdul Alim Shopon and local leaders are present. The Information Minister said the actions taken against the convict persons will keep the electoral atmosphere impartial, neutral and fair. He urged the BNP not to advocate for the indicted people. Now, BTV's regular field report, People's Voice on Politics and Election. Discussions, table talks and conversations are going on at every corner of the country as national election coming nearer. Mass people are discussing about the government's performance, development of localities and dreams and possibilities of future Bangladesh. Talking to the BTV, peoples from Chattogram, Norail and Tangal expressed their thoughts over the next general election. One young man from Chattogram said he wants to see the pro-liberation force to helm the state power and the development of the country. An elderly freedom fighter said now every freedom fighter are happy they are getting monthly allowance 10,000 taka and 4 yearly. He further said that he thinks such government to be elected for next term. An elderly woman from Noral said in the past she never got any help from government, but since last 6 years she is getting widowed allowance. Two other persons from the same locality said that they are now getting 30 kilogram rice at the rate of 10 taka per kilogram, which is very helpful for their family. Two young men from Tangal said that they will cast a vote to the party which will work for the development of Tangal district and will serve to the inhabitants of Tangal relentlessly. Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Muhith said voters will decide who form government. He said this while addressing at a 3 decades anniversary program of University Campus newspaper in Dhaka today. Editor Dr. M. Hilal, World University VC Professor Dr. Abdul Mannan Chaudhry and former Minister Syed Abul Hussain spoke on the occasion. Later, Finance Minister gave Campus Gold Medal and crest to Syed Abul Hussain. Health and Family Welfare Minister Mohammed Naseem has asked all party activists to work for the next general election unitedly. He was speaking at a meeting with the Awami League activists of Nishchintapur Union of Kazipur Upazila in Sirajganj today. The meeting was chaired by Upazila Awami League President Jalaluddin Master, among others, Central Farmers League Vice President Abdul Latif Tarim, Upazila Awami League General Secretary Khalilur Rahman Siraji, President Shaukat Hussain, Upazila Chairman Principal Muzammal Haq Sharkar Bokul and other Awami League leaders from associate organization spoke on the occasion. Replying to a question of the journalist, the Health Minister said, now the countryman is ready for the election and to elect Sheikh Hasina as Prime Minister for another term.
Now international news. The United Nations General Assembly has rejected a United States-sponsored resolution seeking to condemn Hamas, the Palestinian group administering the besieged Gaza Strip. The proposal failed to cross the threshold, with 87 nations voting in favour and 57 voting against. 33 countries abstained. A Hamas spokesman said the outcome was a slap to President Donald Trump's administration. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that although the two-thirds was not achieved, this was the first time there was a sweeping majority of countries who had stood up against Hamas. Peace talks aimed at ending nearly 4 years of civil war in Yemen, described by the UN Special Envoy as an important milestone, have started in Sweden. Martin Griffiths announced the signing of a prisoner swap deal that would see thousands of families reunited. The war has caused the world's worst humanitarian crisis in recent times. Thousands of people have died in fighting and millions have been pushed to the brink of starvation.
A big search and rescue operation is continuing in Japan for 5 missing US Marines after 2 aircraft with 7 crew collided and crashed into the sea. 1 Marine was rescued and was in fair condition, while another one has been declared deceased. The planes involved were KC-130 and an FA-18 based at Iwakuni near Hiroshima, southwestern Japan. US media say they crashed during a media refueling exercise. France will close the Eiffel Tower and other tourism landmarks in Paris and draft in thousands more security forces on Saturday to stave off another wave of violent protest in the country over living cost. With protesters from the Yellow Vest movement calling on social media for Active 4, the 4th weekend of protest, Prime Minister Edouard Philippe said 89,000 police nationwide would be deployed to stop a repeat of last Saturday's mayhem across France. About 8,000 of these would be deployed in Paris, where rioters tossed carts and looted shops of the famed Champs-Élysées boulevard and defaced the Arc de Triomphe with graffiti directed at President Emmanuel Macron. Seeking to regain the initiative after weeks of civil unrest, the government appeared ready to offer concessions.
Now news on sports. The Tri-Nation ODI series will start on 5th May 2019 with the participation of host Ireland, Windies and Bangladesh. The tournament is going to be organised for the preparation of upcoming World Cup. The 3 teams will play each other twice, with the top 2 sides will play at the final on May 17. Bangladesh will play their first match against Windies on 7th May. All the matches will be held at Malahide and Clontarf Stadium in Dublin. Australia is trailing by 59 runs in the first innings at stumps of Day 2 against India in the first test of the 3-match series in Adelaide Oval. The Aussies scored 191 runs for 7 in the first innings at the end of the day. Travis Head and Mitchell Starc were on the crease with 61 and 8 runs respectively. Earlier, India scored 250 runs in the first innings, while Cheteshwar Pujara scored 123 runs for the team. To end the bulletin headlines once again. Over 300 retired government officials, including secretaries and diplomats, expressed solidarity with pro-liberation forces led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. 83 aspiring candidates returned validity in second day's appeal hearing. Political alliances finalized candidates list. Pro-liberation forces to defeat communal evil forces in month of victory's parliament election, Obaidul Qadir's expectation. Foreign reserve increases 4.5 times during last 10 years. Economy becomes vibrant. United States failed to pass condemnation proposal against Hamas in United Nations. And Bangladesh, West Indies and Ireland will play a Tri-Nation series on May next, marking World Cup cricket.
That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda.